black boy joy. 3 times for that black boy joy. Let me hear you make some black boy noise. 1 time for the black boy joy. 2 times for that black boy joy. 3 times for that black boy joy. Let me.
Okay, so what show and season describes y'all's life right now?
Shit, a show?
Yeah,
And a
I want it to be
season.
a show because I already know what my show is, and I think I know the season.
I would say Reasonable Doubt.
Jesus.
That's my shit.
I know. I like Reasonable Doubt.
What season are they? I would probably say season 1.
Okay.
I gotta rewatch, but it was definitely like this season, just Jax and her husband's like connection, like the open, like honesty. I feel like I can feel a little bit of all of those sprinkles and all of those seasons. It's like even like what they're going through with the whole baby. And I think at one point he said, out of all of the things that we've been through, do you think this is like unreasonable or something? And it just like goes to show like in the relationship, especially like once you like get married, you're going to go through shit. So it's like, I feel like as long as you are like open and clearly like communicating with each other, I feel like you can honestly get past a lot as long as y'all like have a understanding as far as like what will be my like bottom line or his bottom line. I feel like you can get through a lot with just like open and clear communication.
What about you, Orlando?
You watch a lot of TV now.
Yes.
He's like, nah, I know you know what is the.
All we watch is murder mystery. So I'm like, oh, what show? Honestly, I would say Reasonable Doubt too, just based off of the things that that Jax had to go through. So much it was similar to ours, just things that we just hard conversations that had to happen, and that once they happened, there was a lot of growth between the both of us. So yeah, I would say Reasonable Doubt too, just based off of the conversations that they had that were, conversations that needed to be had for healing for both of them. So I believe, looking at it, I think that's a good one.
Now I need to watch season 3. I ain't watched
Have you
it
not
yet,
started
so
it yet?
No, because I'm like, I want to wait for all the episodes to drop. So I am like one of those people like specifically with that show. I just want to be able to binge it because I can like anticipate the next episode. I'm over here like,
So I love Reasonable Doubt. It's one of my favorite pieces of like Black programming. I loved season 1. Season 2 was riveting. Like they really threw me for a loop.
Okay.
But with season 3, with the whole Jimmy Kimmel stuff and just like where our country is now, I've actually ended my Hulu subscription in an act of protest. So I will not be watching Reasonable Doubt for the rest of the time. I'm hoping there will come an opportunity where I can and just like. But I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice this for my personal
Watch
freedom.
it on a pirate site.
That's what I want to do. No, see, exactly. Clock that T. No, that's what I want to do. Because, I want to watch it, but I don't want to give Disney my money or my ad stuff. Like, because they get their money from playing those ads. So,
I have somebody else's account.
Right. But you're still, when you press play, that's still revenue they're going to get from you watching the ad. So I do want to pirate. So if y'all know how to pirate, is that a crime? That's a crime, isn't it? If y'all know how to pirate.
So my show that I would like to discuss.
Reach out to somebody else because I don't want it. I don't do no crimes. I don't do nothing about no criminal activity. What's your show, Devery?
Insecure seasons 3 and 4. Because Issa was going through it and with her, what she was trying to do with her life, with her menses. And I think specifically just in that life right now, I'm in a life of transition. And I think Issa was at that time. Season 5, I think, is when she got her stability back work-wise.
Yeah.
And all that. And I'm just naturally awkward like her as well. So, like, the way she handles things and navigates stuff, I'm the same way. Like, I'm over like trying to be like this lover boy, but it's like I'm terrible at it. Or trying to be this person that thinks I have everything together, but I don't. So I'm just like, shit, I'm homeless. Here we go. I'm not, by the way. I'm just saying, I am very much in my...
home. Okay.
I have 4 homes, okay?
Come on, Monique. I have 4 homes.
But yes, that's mine. What about you, Derwin?
Well, obviously, I'm going to choose girlfriends because that's just my life. Oh, what?
Can we get another thing?
Rolling your eyes? No, I can't. I know I cannot.
Okay.
No, I was thinking about it, and because the only other show that I really, I could say like Charmed or some shit, but I'll bring that back. Okay, so for show, I feel like I'm in season 3 of Girlfriends. I do feel that way. I
Okay.
feel like last year was like season 2 for me, had some shifts in friendships, and now it feels like being on the other side of that and kind of really settling into what work is feeling like and being in a new phase in my dating life. Because she was in a relationship, but it was a different kind of. Actually, she was meeting one of her long-term relationships.
Mhm.
That's where I feel like I am now, where there are lots of interesting things happening. I feel like I've got a grip. I'm 30, moving forward, trying to be a new and intentional version of myself. Life has its challenges. So that's
Mhm.
where I feel like I am. But yeah,
Really quick, have you all seen on, like, socials the, like, unaired pilot of Girlfriends?
I
Yeah.
watched it yesterday.
Yeah, I was just like, it feels completely different, and I'm so glad they went this route than the
I
girls
love
that they
you for
had.
bringing that up.
No.
I literally was in the shower watching it yesterday, and shout out to Joe Marie Jones and Persia White because their contributions to that show are invaluable.
Yeah.
Literally,
Someone
like the
was pretty
people,
silly, Tony Childs.
the girl was terrible, Troy. I mean, God bless her. I'm sure she was a fine actress. She was just like her. Oh, let me not do that.
She was
She had a
I
deep
think what it
voice. It
was,
was crazy.
what she was trying to do was act like she was, like, affluent, right? It was a very much we could see that there was an act versus, like, Tony, it just came off. Like, it was like the character just
Because
That's
Jill Marie is
that's
a
not real
glam
life.
girl.
Yes.
Jill Marie is a glam girl, and her comedic timing is
Why'd
exceptional.
I say
That
Joan? I
lady,
meant to say Jill. I said Joan.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
She's a glam girl. She's not just like, oh, I'm bougie. She's like, bitch, I'm about to get this nigga and get his money, and I'm about to live well.
So, yeah, but we got to get into the show because we have some guests in the building.
Yeah, so let us take a moment to introduce our guests. So we are sitting here with Orlando Whigham and Troy Barnes of Mirror Image Photo Booths. So Mirror Image Photo Booths is a photo and video experience company that provides custom photo booth rentals that can be tailored to match any event style or concept. From elegant setups to modern and chic designs, Mirror Image as a special touch of magic that complements any special occasion. Welcome to the two of you. I happen to be a team member of this business, so I was really excited to introduce y'all.
Thank you.
Derwin.
You're welcome. Of course, I'm going to give y'all a great intro. How
Oh,
are
this is
we
gonna be
today?
fun.
Yeah, I think so.
We're doing pretty good. Doing
Good,
pretty good.
good.
Thank you guys for having us. And thank y'all for y'all patience. We're working out y'all schedule so we can make this happen.
Yes.
It's
We're
fine. No, yeah, this is perfectly fine. We
and we're
go with the
used
ebbs and
to it.
flows.
Yeah, I mean, we get guests in here. We're always really excited, and it is a juggling act getting between like putting them on our calendars and getting put on our guest calendars. So we're really glad that we were able to make this happen. I'm really excited to get into the conversation today about entrepreneurship and partnership and how those two things mix together, and about what it's like for you two specifically as Black queer men to run this business. So we're really, really excited to get into that conversation. Before we get started, I wanted to ask you all, because our season's theme this year is I am here now. So I want y'all to think about what that means to you and tell me what it means to you right now.
As I am here now,
Yeah.
for me, just hearing that, it just makes me, I think even just earlier, we was having a conversation with someone and it just makes me think of being like present and grounded. Um, and even just kind of like taking a step back and looking where we are now, and how far we have come and just truly like sitting in that, like valuing that and truly appreciating that. Because I feel like we've all had a past. We've all have like gone through things. And I think a lot of times we sometimes get tunnel vision where we can only think about the next thing and we don't sometimes sit in the now. So for me, just I'm here now is just kind of like sitting and reflecting and just appreciating everything that we do have now and today.
Thank you for that.
I would say, for me, here now, the spaces that we're able to be in that I've like thought about for a long time, things that we're conquering so fast that I'm like, man, we've done that already. Like, what's next? Like, so the here now is me, like he said, taking time to appreciate where we are, but also realizing that we're doing some things that we thought about or things that were on our wish list and some things that we hadn't even planned for because we didn't know if we were ready for it yet, that presented itself to where we had to pull up our bootstraps and do what we needed to do. And it just opened up so many so many things. So really just, like he said, appreciating where we are now, but just realizing like out of the things that we have wrote down and the things that we both dreamed separately, there are a lot of things that we're starting to, come into that it's like, wow, like if we don't pay attention to it, we'll been and done it and not even realizing. So just, just being grateful for where all the things that we're being able to go through, uh, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot to explain because like you said, business and personal. So it's like wins on each end. So it's kind of like tied in sometimes where you feel like you just be kind of overwhelming sometimes.
Well, we plan to jump into that. We're going to ask you a good number of questions about this, so I believe we'll dive into it. I want to start first, though, with the beginning, the origins. What inspired you to start Mirror Image Photo Booths?
I moved to New Orleans with the intention of still doing photography full time. And when I got here, I wasn't really getting the clients that I needed. Most people here kind of had somebody already to where like it wasn't really something I can immediately get into the space of being booked every weekend or booked during the week. So I was like, man, what can I do that will still keep me in the same arena, but not have me so far away from what I was doing, not having to clock in somewhere. Did a lot of research and didn't even really connect photography with the photo booths because I didn't think of it like that. I just thought photo booth, come take your picture, and didn't really think about, like of what it is today, and took the step to do it. And it's
Here
been a
we
hit,
are.
literally like, just from the planning, like a lot of work up to it. The planning, the execution has just put us in a great space, So that the beginning came from me just honestly needing a way to survive when I first moved here, to maintain staying here versus going back to Hattiesburg.
Mhm.
And with that in mind, how soon after moving here did you start the business?
Mhm.
I would say maybe 9 months after being here.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay. Kind of soon, pretty soon.
Mhm.
Wow. And you moved here what year?
2020,
Nice.
September of 2020, and I got the equipment. I ordered the equipment March and got it in June.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh. That's crazy. I
That's
didn't know
that's
that.
great. Yeah, I would say that's dope that you came here and like you gave yourself a little bit of time, but like to do that in like 9 months in less than a year is pretty amazing
Well,
to realize
I
that.
will
Yeah.
say when I did move here, I was working for Starbucks and had the intention of coming here, like at least having a little job to kind of maintain. And before I moved here, they fired me.
Mm.
My lease here had already like, okay, I'm gonna be in New Orleans. I'm good to go. And I'm, taking that step. And I got fired. But I had already signed the lease. So there was no like turning back. So I just had to come here and figure it out and
Boy,
figured it
did
out.
you figure it out. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So baby, here we go. You said I'm gonna do it, and you
So
did it.
how did your relationship influence the birth of this business?
I would say like when we started dating before photo booths were even the conversation, I felt like he was pouring into my creativity, just seeing that like I had an interest in videography, creating content, had a YouTube. At the time had like been deleted, Instagram and all that had been deleted. So I was like in the rebuilding. So he was like really encouraging of that. I had booked 2 weddings doing videography through him. So it was like him kind of feeding my creativity that I kind of knew like something could potentially be there. Just the 2 weddings that we did together, I felt like the way we worked, it was easy. Even when he got the photo booths, it still wasn't something that like I was interested in. But it was kind of the same thing kind of happened to him. I was working at Saks, was making really good money. I was in a position in a field that like I enjoyed being able to interact with people, being around clothes and fashion. It was like super fun, but it started to, I don't know, kind of like the same how it is with us with our photo booths. I like started working at Saks and um things was like kind of easy for me as far as like I wasn't having any issues reaching my commission goals, where other people on my department floor, it seems like started to, I don't know if it was even something if I was just internalizing, but they definitely just started to make me feel like uncomfortable or welcome, especially like the men in the shoes department where it was like, you know, you don't work this department. Why are you like over here?
Because they wanted their money, child.
Not
They
getting
was like-
catty in the kitten heels.
It was maybe it was commission. It was like it was on your sales. So why are you over here in my shoes department when you supposed to be in makeup?
Right. It was at the time at the store, like with the COVID and the whole pandemic happened, it kind of like really changed the way that the store was operating. So if you're in shoes, typically you only work in shoes, but they changed it where you can work the entire store. So if someone comes into the suit department, I greet them, we make a connection, and they'll be like, oh, I'm here to buy some shoes, or I want to get some cologne, some perfume, makeup, a bag. I can literally take them around the whole store and shop with them. And people didn't like that. And it just started to like make me feel uncomfortable where I started to not enjoy going to work. So around that same time is when I started to hang out with Orlando and go see his photo booth setup. He was telling me about him setting up under the bridge here in New Orleans with the 360 booth and was charging the locals like $10 to get a video.
Yeah.
Said how much money he made, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I had a weekend off, went hang out with him. I think we went to like Culture Park and under the bridge. And I was like, oh, this is, this like seemed fun. We were able to kind of hang out. He made money, got to interact with people. So that was like the first like real glimpse of me seeing like what a photo booth like does. And from there, I had like got into issues at work that I lost my job at SAC. So it was kind of a situation where I was immediately trying to like look for work. And at that same time, he had some events coming up that he needed help with, that he paid me to run some events in Hattiesburg. And I think at the time, like knowing the people out there, he was nervous how I will like handle like or operating the photo booth or whatever. And I like ran the event. He had like
Wait, I was like, he was nervous.
I can honestly really imagine that. I really can see they're both Virgos. This is a really important part of this. They are both Virgos. And like, so the attention to detail, this is one of the things that makes mirror image photo booths exceptional is the attention to detail. And if it can be supposed or imagined a way that something can go wrong, Orlando is going to imagine it.
Yeah,
so I can absolutely see that being the case.
Like, who was even thinking of that?
Wait, are you all the same month?
Yes. Literally, I mean, he's September 1st. I'm September 20th.
They open and close Virgo season. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Kismet, like, girl.
Yeah, he was nervous of I don't think he was even nervous necessarily of like me, but I think maybe how the people there would receive me or whatever. But he like popped up at the event and was watching. And I guess like that like relieved him as like, okay, you can do this. The client like provided good feedback. So I did a couple events with him and I was like, hey, I need to be getting paid half. And at the time he was like, he couldn't do that because, he was still in the beginning. The events were kind of slowly picking up. So it was like one of those things where he still wasn't fully getting paid for his asking price.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it was kind of like our relationship accelerated in the sense of like I had lost my job. I saw the great opportunity that he had with the business and I saw the value that I could add. So like I immediately like went to work, started like revamping the way how his brand looked client facing. So like I started to like look at the other photo booth companies that was in New Orleans and just like anything that I can find. I was just like starting to do like all of my research and kind of do our competitive analysis to see like how I can immediately set ourselves apart from what everybody else was doing. And I think within the first couple posts, like his friends and people was like, did you hire somebody to...
My man.
What moved you to do that? Like, what was it internally that made you want to do that and show up in that way?
I just think it was natural for me. Like I said, like aesthetics and like style design, that's like always been a part of me. That's what I've like went to school for, fashion merchandising. So I've always like had an eye for like details and kind of just putting things together. And just going to a few weddings and just kind of like seeing how, even in the very beginning, when even like looking back at a lot of our setups when we thought we were luxury, it was like always striving for like a certain client.
Yeah.
it's, working in luxury retail, there was like, I already kind of had this knowledge of like a concierge style service that you provide. And then I also had like a lot of customer service skills from just working in call centers. So it's like a lot of those things I just applied to the business. I always tell people it's kind of like crazy, just past jobs and experiences I've had, how everything with Mirror Image kind of like just clicked, and all of those skills I'm able to apply to the business, and it just literally kind of like just took off, just doing things that I enjoy doing. It like never really felt like work.
I'd like to switch gears and start talking about the Black love and business aspect. So, how do you manage conflict when the two of you disagree as business partners versus romantic partners?
We go at it.
We've been
The
trying
book.
to like find that balance or like boundary, because sometimes it's like I say, sometimes it's hard to, as an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard to turn off the
Yeah.
entrepreneur or the boss like mindset. So we have to like intentionally take time like away. And he's really good at that, to like pull me away from the work, to be like, hey, let's sit down, let's watch a movie, like let's play the game, like let's go get something to eat. So just make sure that we are still connected in that aspect as well, where it's not always just business. Cause I definitely feel like the first 2 years, like tunnel vision, honing in on like what we wanted and how fast we were moving,
Yeah.
it did get to a point where it was just like business, business, where we had to like really just, have intention about um our relationship, and making sure that we are like carving out that time for ourselves. And that's even like making sure that we like take our trips, even with like our team members and stuff, started to make sure that we start building the team so we could take time off from running the events. Cause even in the very beginning, it was like we were working every event together.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the beginning, it was like finding the balance of, we don't have to make every business decision, everything that we do in revolving the business doesn't have to be like about the relationship or about us. Like, you can go and run this event and make sure that it's handled. I can go and run this event and make sure it's handled. Where in the beginning, it was like,
It was a package.
it was coming. We don't even have to have two people there. Both of us gonna be there. One person probably just sitting off to the side. And even at that point, when it was starting to be like, okay, like I don't have to be there, when we started to really define our roles, that was a challenge too, especially on his part, as far as like, hey, you're gonna have to go run the event. Like, I'll make sure that, I'm strategizing, making sure that we are booking the next big client. So when it comes to an event and it's something that one of us can run, like, you make sure that that's like your job, make sure that you handle that. And just a lot of tough conversations, because a lot of times, like I said, is we both have our opinions and ideas.
The Virgos. Those damn.
Okay.
Well, my rising, my moon is in Virgo, so I'm talking. Derwin knows how. So I'm an Aries, but my Virgo, I have my
Okay.
Virgo moon, so I totally get it. I'm also curious, like with you all managing a relationship and also like a business, how was like that, like the dynamics of that has that bled into the relationship, and like how do you all overcome those, making those boundaries clear of like, this is our relationship, and then this is professional. I know you all are starting to grow your team and all that, but just want to just act, because that's seeing a Black queer couple also, like, shout out to you all being in
Yeah.
business and also like working. I know it has the dynamics and just like the clarity of all that, but working in that type of space, like how has that been for you all, and also blessings that has came from this opportunity as well.
I would say honestly, like having those, like, as far as the business, having those clear roles, as far as
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't even necessarily say like roles,
Yeah.
but it's more so as far as what he's strong at and his strengths, and what makes MIPB special. What he brings is like, I let him shine and do that, and vice versa. Because I feel like if I feel like there's no need for me to like try to be the photographer.
Yeah.
That's not my lane. We are special because of what he brings to the table with his photography knowledge. And then when it comes to like aesthetics and design and everything, even though he tried, for the most part, he lets me like handle that. And it
He
helps.
said, lead from behind. Lead from behind. I got this. I got
Because
this,
you peep
babe.
that, even though he tries.
But I do feel like, as far as I feel like our personalities within our business and within our relationship are probably like the same. Where I'm very much so like type A. Orlando's very much so like laid back.
We share that.
You know, even like what we were saying, as far as like, I feel like it definitely, I feel like that's one of the things that we bump heads on when it's he sees like the worst outcome first. What I always say, I'm very have cup half full. He's very cup half empty. But I feel like it helps us in a lot of ways, where it has been times where something like he has brought up that made like happen actually happens. And it'd be like, sometimes I'd be like, well, you know, I've thought about that. And it's like, don't even just say it, but it'd be like, sometimes it's definitely very helpful. Even sometimes just interacting, or his discernment when it comes to like people and
Yes.
their motives.
Yes.
Like a lot of times they're very, very, very spot on. So it definitely helps in more ways than they don't. But it's always one of those things where it'll always make us have a conversation where it's either him helping me like look a little deeper, and vice versa, where it's like helping him stretch to look at more of the positive outcome than the negative.
And I think what keeps us like grounded as far as like coming out of those hard things is like taking the ego out of it. Because this is both of our babies. Like, just like taking the ego out to where we're not, I'm doing this, or this is mine, this is this is me. Like, we treat MIPB with the same way I talk to him about MIPB, I talk to Devin. Like, that's all of our babies. And just being able to, like you said, be strong at what we do and not have to, like, I know my strong points is photography, but my business is not.
Yeah.
So I lean on him more for that. I can do it, but I'm not the best at it. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and just really just figuring out like those things that we're good at, and learning how to, like you said, learning how to have those conversations, and just be, just be more so like, because we do so much together, just making sure that the things that we are saying aren't hurting each other. Like, because we can be in business. I mean, it says something and it hurt his feelings or my feelings, and we don't say anything. So just when we're in that business mode, that we're not disrespecting each other. And that's another big thing that we're giving each other, because we're both creatives. We both, sensitive about our things. Like, I can make an overlay and change one thing, and if it's not something that he had maybe have thought, I have to think about, like, how would I feel if he changed something? So it's like just considering each other's in every way, to where we're not like overlooking each other, because at the end of the day, we still have to lay beside each other.
Now, before we move to the next question, I want to run back to this idea of like the glass half empty. I think your kind of borderline paranoia around these things, or just skepticism, is something that like we share. And I'm wondering if that is because of like where you're from, if it's like a Hattiesburg thing, or if this is just a you thing. And the reason that it even comes up for me is because like I'm from a small town, and I know that everyone is like that. Like, most people are like, oh, you got to be cautious or beware of that person. Is that a background thing, or is it just like who you are?
I think a little bit of both. Definitely, I'm very cautious when it comes to things. So I think it's probably more me, because I just need to go, okay, so if this does happen, what's my next move? Or like, have we thought about this? Or this could really happen. So, and sometimes it's really just the thought, and I have to learn myself to not speak it out loud, because it kind of could, change his mood, when really these are just thoughts that aren't really changing my mood. It's just like, okay, that just crossed my mind. Let me think about this for a second. So I think and like you said, because I remember when I sent y'all to Hattiesburg for the first time, I was a nervous wreck.
You were. I think it was me and Seven too. And so I know you were like, wait.
Yeah. And then we hit the phone call we had to have right before. So it was just like, and that's mainly me trying to shield y'all from things that I know I've had to go through in that town.
We grown though.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't want to send them somewhere on my behalf and have them uncomfortable and not be able to correct the situation in that moment. And nothing even happened. They called, was like, oh, we love them.
us.
So, and that was another moment where I've came up with this whole thing to where, like he said, in some situations it helps, but because I did kind of give y'all the rundown to where I didn't send y'all in there blindly. This may happen, it may not, but I just felt like
It was
I would
maybe
have
my
wanted to have that, like, hey, going to Hattiesburg, they may, these are kids, they may say some slick stuff. So,
like middle schoolers.
yes, yes.
I mean, it was maybe my first or second time in Mississippi, but I had my own kind of expectations about it. And again, I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. It's a small town where I'm from. So it wasn't going to be anything that I wasn't kind of used to. And I'm a charming individual. I have gone to places with my ass out and my chest out, and people just be rolling with it. Like, they just be like, hey, he cool. It's whatever. And
See, that's why I appreciate you about y'all. Y'all have made me comfortable in myself. Like, y'all are probably the most, I would say, open friends that I have. You met my girls. Like, I don't really have too many guy best friends. 'Cause when I went to school, like, all of my friends were girls. So I appreciate what y'all have done in the short time that I met y'all. Just opening my eyes, making me more comfortable, or learning that you can show up just the way you want to show up.
Yeah, how does that affect your business? What is that like to have a team of people who are so, I mean, because a good number of your team members are like gender queer, like we're not traditional by any stance. And I wonder if that's been an asset for MIPB.
That's been very intentional. And that's one of the things that all of our clients rave about is it's not only do they love us, but they love y'all. And it's like, it makes us feel great that we know that the events are in good hands, even, when we aren't there. And just the way that y'all, like, outside, everybody kind of being a part of the LGBTQ community, y'all all have a level of respect for the business where, as friends, a lot of times you always hear people like, never work with your friends, never work with your family, and never have any of y'all made us feel like y'all are doing us a favor. It feels like y'all, genuinely enjoy the work that we do, the events that we do. I feel like y'all genuinely like mess with our clients that we like frequently work with. I also appreciate when something does go left, y'all have no issue with like speaking up or standing up for yourselves, like across the board. Like, because even like I told Orlando, like what he was saying, as far as I feel like coming from a small town, there are definitely like situations where I feel like those things pop up, or past issues from dealing with people in that small town pop up, where I feel like he tries to shield. I feel like it's like a defense mechanism with situations where you need to speak up for yourself. Even in a professional environment, you have to like speak up for yourself. You can't like let people like walk all over you. So like a lot of times it'd be situations where we would like get into it where I feel like we have to like speak up for ourselves and like not let people like walk over us. And he'll be like, it's another thing where it's like good and bad, where it's like, hey, just let that one ride. And then sometimes he'll let me air him out.
Take them, go.
I appreciate our team because they're not afraid to stand up for what they know that is right, and they're not gonna let anybody like disrespect them or whatnot. But yeah, our team was very intentional about who we want to be on our team because of the way that they show up. And I feel like it's very important to authentically show up as yourself because people appreciate that, especially in the time that we live in now with so much like AI, where we gonna start to lose like what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
So like the team is appreciated across like every person.
That's a good
And
point.
just that we're able to give y'all access to things that we're getting access to. Like every event that we do, we always say, hey, we got a team, especially if we're like giving our services away or donating our services. We always try to make sure that that we're not the only one getting in the room. Like,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah,
us
seat
can
at the
show up
table.
on can show up together, but all of us can make a connection with these people individually to where like we always tell them, look, at these events, you're getting a chance to talk to people when their guard is down. Like
Yeah.
when they're happy or when they're not buttoned up at this moment. Take that time to make that connection because you never know who these people are or what they're connected to. And just the way that our team is perceived, them getting reviews on Google by name, being requested by name for certain events, it's just kind of like, dang, y'all don't want us to show up. So it's just like it's a good thing to know that we have a team. Of course, amazing friends, but like you said, not everybody. I have a best friend. Like they love what I do, but I know that I couldn't hire some of them because I know that they wouldn't put in what some of my other friends put in. And you just have to know not all of our friends like Jordan. Jordan was not, he didn't care how fun the event was. But that wasn't his thing. And you just have to figure out, and that's not a bad thing. You just have to know like who's there for you and what works for you. And then just do right by your people, like pour into them and making sure that they're not there just filling your pockets, that you're pouring back into them and just showing up. And we try to do that as much as we can to make sure like that our team is good so we can, have all these opportunities spread out amongst all of us.
This is about building a business, honey. So what advice would you give to queer couples who are wanting to go into business together?
Get an understanding first of because I will say I did have a test run at this. I did business with I was in a relationship and we had a business, and there were a lot of things that went through then that I mentally noted starting out. Like, cause I had already said, I know I can't do business again because there's too much to handle when you're not able to communicate. You have to be able to communicate because it's going to be finances that you're now having to work together. If you don't have that communication and you may have bad spending habits, it'll go down real quickly.
Yeah.
It's just a lot you have to talk about before, like, are we dating and starting this? Like, what are our roles? What are we going to be doing? Like, because we've talked about if this was to if we were to break up, like, what's
Tough
next?
conversations.
Yeah, Photo Book's coming with me. He gonna have to start over.
That was in the beginning. So yeah, it was definitely, I don't know. I feel like even in the sense I was talking to his cousin and she was asking me like about marriage and stuff. And I feel like where we are like in our relationship, like we talk about that and I feel like that's definitely the goal for us. And right now is honestly just like he was saying, as far as like working out all of the financials, as far as, we've created our business. We like have something that we know is working. So it's like really doubling down on that to make sure that it can be sustainable 20, 30, 40 plus years and beyond. And the biggest thing is like really like getting on top of the finances. So I feel like that's where we are now, like really getting that like financial plan together personally, where we can truly start to build our empire and our capital within our business. So in the beginning, it was like a lot of like hard conversations and like business decisions. Even when we decided to move in together, it was more like of a business thing. Like, hey, we both are about to jump into this full time. It don't make sense to be paying rent here and paying rent at your apartment. Like, move in with me. I got the yard. It's easier for the dogs. We got more room. And for him, knowing his past, I felt like it was my responsibility to reassure him that I was going to make my home his home. So it was like, okay, my lease will be renewed in a few months. Because his biggest thing was like, if we get into it and it's mad day, like it can't be no, get out.
Mhm.
So it was like, I wanted to reassure him, like, that's not me. Like, if we get into it, we just get into it. Like, I ain't going to be like trying to put you out, especially when we are about to start to build together. So
Yeah. Stakes are high.
yeah, so it was like very important to me to reassure him that like, hey, I'm gonna try my very best to make you feel comfortable knowing his past, but also not like, I feel like one thing we never did was like really like trauma bonded. As far as like, I feel like we know what each other's like traumas are, triggers are.
Yeah.
But it's not like we're not sitting around talking about like the things that hurt him or me in the past. I feel like now when we bring it up is more of a like revelation and joy of I was going through this and look at where I'm at now, and I wouldn't have expected that. So it's like, we try to just, reassure each other that like, hey, like what we doing like at this way is bigger than us, and just trying to keep building every day. And I feel like the biggest thing is I feel like we choose each other every day. Like even when we like get mad at each other, you get on my nerves or I'm being annoyed. we still like choose each other. So it's like if we have to somebody go in the living room, somebody staying here to like work on or whatever, we like always come back. It's never something that's like crazy where we can't talk about it. Because I'm very much so about talking about it. If something bothered me, I'm gonna say it. I don't really believe in like nagging, but I've learned to like because I feel like I'm definitely like easily annoyed by like
Really?
yes about like these small
Orlando.
things.
So if you like very much, I said that already person.
No.
I said that last week. You don't remember that? So it's just like he's very
No.
and I'm very like, wait, what were we talking about? But to answer your question about what I would tell a couple is honestly, on top of communication is which it ties into communication is the trust. And I think in our relationships, that is the foundation for everything. Because one thing that I will say is with Troy, I haven't had that. I've had to relearn myself to be comfortable with going out and not that he thinks that I'm doing something. And that's a good feeling now to where I can go out with my friends and not and when 2 o'clock rolls around, I don't feel bad because I'm still out or feel that once I get home, I'm going to have to have a laundry list of so where I was at. And
Yeah.
that's a good feeling of feeling safe and feeling trusted. So just making sure that you know, you have those conversations and the thing and being honest with your partner about what you like or what you want. So
Mm.
there's no surprises or you're not having to hold back things that for later when you can just have this conversation in the beginning and figure out if this is something that I like or if it's something that I can work on or no, this is a no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the beginning, having those conversations, like getting past that honeymoon phase of, oh, this is the perfect person. No, who are you and what is it gonna be here? So yeah, especially before you get in business, you need to have those conversations because once you get in business, it's like,
once you get deep in there
yeah,
and
It's like
you
here we are.
yeah,
It's like, I'm just curious about like how did you all come up with the name?
Orlando had
yeah.
everything. He had everything mapped out.
I had a
Oh,
well, it was kind of based off of the photo booth that one of the first photo booths we had, which is a full length mirror. And I wanted something based off reflection. And I was like, oh, mirror image photo booths. And it kind of like it sounded good.
It do.
And we went from there and it was
I
like
revamped it.
yeah, he revamped it. I found somebody that I knew to do the website and everything was very much like cookie cutter, like let's get started. Like just it was all clean work, but it was very template style. Yeah. Um,
Generic.
knew even before I had did the photo booth or when we were in that phase of getting back together, I knew what I needed him for. Whether it worked out or not, I knew what he was able to do based off of what I saw with his YouTube,
Wow.
his aesthetic, and I knew I didn't have that. I can shoot it, but I can't put it together. Like I can give you these images, but as far as like putting the puzzle together, that's what I was missing. And I knew that he was good at it because I had already saw what he was doing just based off of the clips of the YouTube videos that I saw him doing with his hair. So I was like, man, this could work. Like this could work. And it took me a minute to get him convinced because like in the beginning, like it was like just photo booths. It wasn't what you see now, but it developed because I can give you a good image. I just need somebody to put it together and talk to these people in a manner to where like, cause I'm not a talker. I can, but Troy is a people person like you. Like when y'all go to events, like I say, put your aces in the places. If we know we got people bubbling around, it's gonna be guests, and maybe somebody that we really need to impress these people. We're gonna have Devin there because Devin is a social butterfly. He's gonna, bring those people in or make them feel comfortable. Or even if they don't interact with him, them watching him will, it reflects. So
There's a profound level of clarity in this experience, as both of you explain the coming together in romance and in business. There just seems to be a really strong amount of clarity at each step that you knew what you needed from Troy, and Troy knew what to do in coming in. That there wasn't so much at the time of having to, I'm sure there was some brainstorming and thinking, but the way it sounds is that like, it almost sounds kismet that there were just like y'all were really at the right place at the right time and really equipped and really ready. And that's something really beautiful and profound to hear.
and it's
Yeah, I
crazy
think
because
that.
I moved here in September. Our first date was October 1st of 2020. And like, so he was like the first person I met. I thought he was fake profile. I thought he was catfish.
Not catfish.
And it just was like, wow, like what would have happened had I not,
Yeah.
pursued second time, or what would it have been had I been in my feelings and just not had a conversation based off of what I thought dating was.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you gotta slow down. You have to slow down and you gotta, take that time to realize that and get out your feelings sometimes. And I think that's what it was. Like, cause in the beginning, like we had said, we did, and just having those conversations and just, slowing down and getting out of yourself sometimes is the best. It will be the best thing for you. And I think that has helped us a lot.
What event or like what occasion has been like the highlight for you all with your company?
I have two. I would say the top was our Super Bowl experience and then Native Son recently.
I love native. Oh my God.
Come on with the native son.
You
So
know,
how
I got up
does
on
yeah. Go
got
ahead.
up on here and talked about that down.
Yeah. How did those two like opportunities come about for you all?
Super Bowl is crazy because I would choose both of those events myself. And Super Bowl was big. One, we like worked directly with the NFL. So that was like huge for us because when it was announced that the Super Bowl and everything was coming here, they did like a Super Bowl diversity supplier committee. If you are a minority business owner in New Orleans, you could sign up for the committee, and they provided like a whole bunch of opportunities. I think they had like opportunities where you would get booked and potentially work events for the Super Bowl, and then they had like a lot of like networking opportunities. And we applied and was deemed ineligible because it was like a whole like a laundry. I wouldn't say a laundry list, but it was things that you had to be eligible for. So
Yeah.
had to have like all of your taxes up to date, and you had to be like a certified business with like one of the national organizations, so like the National Black Chambers or the National LGBTQ Chambers. And we didn't have all of that at the time. So we were like, damn, like our chances of doing something for the Super Bowl is over. And shortly after that, I think the first inquiry that we got for Super Bowl was from the NFL. So I think like that morning we got the inquiry and saw like the person name at NFL.com. It was like, oh my God, we made
Legit. We made it.
so that was like super huge. And then all of the things that like happened during that Super Bowl weekend, my partnership with Verizon, kind of like had blew up, and they gave us tickets to go to the actual game.
Wow.
When we ended up getting booked for the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So we did party. And it was like a whole bunch of events that we were able to spread our team like all across New Orleans. To also have experiences too, because for me, that's also the biggest thing is I was just telling Orlando, I feel like that's another reason why I feel like we see a lot of successes because we don't try to hoard all of the opportunities that come our way.
Speak
Sometimes
on it.
some of these events could easily be like, we'll work it, collect the money, but it's like, hey, make sure, see if any and everybody is available, not only to put money in their pockets, but also for them to have these experiences.
Yeah.
You get to socialize, you get to have your drink. It's a good time. So Super Bowl was super big. And then Native Son, of course, I feel like that's been something we've been manifesting from the beginning. Like you had said, as far as like brainstorming, in the very beginning, we used to do that together a lot, like writing down the planners that we wanted to work with, the venues we wanted to work at. We did a lot of that like in the beginning together. And I just even sometimes just verbally talking out loud, like the things that we want to do, organizations we want to work for. And Native Son like has always been like up there. Fun fact, my friend Sean, he had a YouTube channel called Pinkies Up, and he would like interview people within the event space or just people like in our community who are making or has made impact. And he interview email at his apartment. And at the time I had just moved to New York, I was like staying at his apartment and I was in the bedroom. And even then I've like always admired like who he was, what he stood for. So as we was like building our business, it was like always one of those things, trying to figure out like how we could get involved some way, somehow. And for them to reach out wanting us would,
Yeah.
you know, like it was really a big moment for us.
Really enjoyed myself. So, all right. So, tell me, what does legacy mean to both of you as Black gay men and entrepreneurs? Because I know that can look a little different for us.
Say for Black gay man entrepreneurs, I would say representation. Because like I was telling him today, like what we're doing, the images that we do, the events that we do, the team, it's all representation. Seeing Black gay owners, seeing us in that era, in those pictures, to where like years from now, if I have kids or like my family or anybody, any young gay guy, if they're able to see like what we're able to produce and see themselves like, "Oh, I can do that." So us being able to, that's why we post how we post or show what we're doing to let somebody out there know, look, we started this from zero. Like
Mhm.
if you have intention and you know what you want, you have the drive, you can go as far as you want and as quick as you want. So really just showing what we're doing. I'm hoping, I know it's leaving a legacy behind because of the amount of people that we're able to reach, whether they're connecting it with photo booths or the feelings that we're connecting is something to where when we leave, mirror image, booth boys, Kim boys, the guys that take the good picture, something about that lingers with them to where when we're not even with the photo booths, oh, they're my boys. What y'all doing? So that all to me is legacy. Anything,
Mhm.
something that like makes an impact on them to where when you leave the room, whether you leave this earth, is something that was impactful for those people. And I think that's what we do solely with just pictures because
Yeah.
looking back, some of those people, the events that we do, some of those people may have passed on to where those are the last pictures or the only picture that they've had with grandmother or like,
Yeah.
we take what we do serious because it's as fun as it is, people hold pictures dearly.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Sometimes the last thing that you have. So in what we do, it's a legacy. So like
Ooh.
just paying attention to what being intentional and the service that we give these people because like it matters. And most of the time it's like I said, it's the last thing that people are left with at the end of the night of any party, any celebration, or when you're looking back, that's what you're referring to is that picture, that moment in that picture.
I think I want to hear you say that again. That what we do is legacy. That was a nice little soundbite right there. I appreciated that.
I 100% agree with Orlando. We were having a conversation about legacy earlier today. And I feel the same way, regardless if we were to have kids or not. I feel like what we have created will leave a lasting impact. And somebody mentioned the way that we share our photos and show up like for each other, and what we represent for our community
Yeah.
in a way has been like intentional as far as like one of my things that I wanted to do or wanted to receive was to be loved and to love out loud. So it's like being able to do that and like have our business and to be thriving. I feel like that'll be our legacy that, what we've created will live far beyond us. But if what we are building, I definitely would love to be able to leave to someone. And I just feel like now with all of the opportunities, like as gay men that we have to like have kids and have a family, that I definitely don't want it to end with me because it's like now learning and unlearning so much is like I don't want to, even though I don't feel like it would leave with me because what we are creating is that's like the purpose to even the knowledge that we have is to like give back and pay it forward. So that's like even helping others start or create their own opportunities or even continue scaling our business up where we can create opportunities within that for people to like leave an impact or have purpose. But definitely want to have something to leave behind, whether that's, a structure with mirror image on there, like these white folks who started their business 50 something years ago and it's
Yes.
thriving.
Pass it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
old
Generation
money,
of
child. Old
generation.
money.
Where we're going is, like you said, it's what started as a photo booth has turned into
An
something
experience.
than what we could have imagined, where I felt like we have found purpose within the business, that we see so many different other avenues and so many more growth opportunities happen because of what we started with the photo booth.
Thank you. So before we wrap up, we did want to do a little lightning round for you all, like some questions. I just wanted to rapid fire with it. So want y'all to get prepared, get ready. Ain't no too crazy. And Derwin, if you got some, spit it out. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one word that describes who you were then and who you are now.
One word to describe me: who I was then, a rebel, and who I am now, a boss.
I know that's
Period.
right.
Who I was then, and this is then when.
Let's
Like in
say
the beginning of the
pre-MIPBCO.
yeah.
All over the place. I would definitely say I was all over the place. And now, while I may be all over the place, I feel like it's intentional and like it's more of a I'm on the right track. I just need to figure out which like I can't really put
You supposed to do one word.
I was like,
I said
is it
one.
organized chaos? I'm like, organized chaos? Like, I don't know, baby. I'm trying to figure it out too. I was like, no, what
Because I got
word?
3 more. I got 3 more. So you're going to have to give me what your spirit telling you. Don't overthink that
Okay.
one.
thriving.
I like that. I like that. Okay. What's the song that gets the party started at the booth every time?
The Lizzo and the Lizzo and the girl song.
Not the girl.
Lululemon.
Dua Lipa.
I was
Levitate.
Yes.
Levitate. Okay.
Okay.
That white girl. The UK
Is that the
baddie.
same for you, Troy?
The same.
The same song?
Question?
Yeah.
I would definitely say those are definitely my go-tos. If we are at a white function, is definitely Lizzo
Got a
about that,
code switch.
or Dua Lipa, Levitating. And you can even get away with the baby remix of Levitating.
You know that people canceled him.
What is it? Is it Back That Ass Up? Yeah. Juvenile, Back That Ass Up, or
Here? Shit. You can do that anywhere here, child.
It's a staple.
now
Yes.
they gonna be ready. Those are definitely two of the go-tos.
Who's the creative and who's the spreadsheet?
Oh, I feel like I could.
Creative spreadsheet.
I was like, he said that. I was like in my head. I was like, all right, you said, baby, I want to be behind the scenes.
I'm a creative spreadsheet.
That's what I think. I honestly think that they could go either way there. At least in terms of for Troy. So I think I know the answer to this question. It's my favorite. Who's most likely to start a business idea over brunch?
I would say me, because I can start one right now. I have
I
Because
know
you
that's
started
right.
this. You started this.
so it's really just I would say me.
I got that completely wrong.
And he always ready to go somewhere to eat. So definitely yes.
You
You got it wrong.
I did get it
Derwin?
wrong. I actually thought it was going to be Troy. When I wrote that question, I thought it was going to be Troy.
I'm
So I
thinking
did get
Orlando
that
because
wrong.
he created this. So
Of
I was
course.
in my head like, it's going to be Orlando because like you have the evidence, baby.
See, for
Yeah, I'll
some
do it,
reason,
but I don't have to do it over brunch. I would
I
rather
literally thought
out.
about you doing a full thing at brunch. So that's really funny because, Orlando will give the ideas. He will be talking about the stuff any place. But for some reason, I really pictured you at brunch giving a full business idea. That's really funny.
That's where I'm growing. I've been, especially once I put together my creative spreadsheet, I like to do a little presentation over a cocktail and some appetizers for sure.
We love that.
Especially now, even as we are some of the corporate clients that we have been working with recently, a lot of them like to do the Zoom calls and the live presentations. So yeah, it's definitely been giving those vibes. Even some of the collabs that we've been like trying to make happen has always been, let's go get a drink and discuss. So it's moving in that way.
I know that's right. All right. So as we close out, I want to provide the opportunity for y'all to share where people can find you. Where can our listeners and our audience find you? Also, where can they book a booth? So I want all the social media and stuff.
And this is perfect timing. So about time this episode drop, our new website should have relaunched.
Ooh.
You can check that out at www.mipbco.com. You can also follow us there on Instagram. That is our primary business page, MIPBCO. And then we have our activations page, which caters to corporate and more brands. And you can find us at MI Activations on Instagram. And my personal Instagram is Troy Barnes JR on Instagram. And
Mine is iSnap_pics and Orlando Whigham photo on Instagram.
yep.
Nah.
And you can follow us on Instagram. All of our links either will send you to a booking form, or you can, scroll our website, read some of our features, check out some of our experiences, or just go look at our beautiful pictures and our beautiful team.
Come on.
You guys know that you can find me on Instagram and Threads at Derwin King. That's DERWINKING. And on TikTok now at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
And you all can follow me, of course, on all platforms at _Lord Every. That is _LORD EVERY. You can follow us on Instagram, the podcast at That Black Boy Joy Pod. You can follow us on TikTok and Twitter at That Black Boy Joy. If you would like to be a guest on the show, you can hit us up at thatblackboyjoypodcast@gmail.com. And you all can also watch all of our videos on YouTube at That Black Boy Joy. So please like, subscribe, follow, comment, write us, just tell us how y'all are feeling, and please reach out to them. Like, the amazing work that they're doing will make every event top tier. So we just want y'all to book and bring them on. Come on. But like we always tell our guests and our listeners, please be so in love with who you are.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank y'all.